الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ ابتلى إبراهيم ربه بكلمات فأتمهن قال إني جاعلك للناس إماما قال ومن ذريتي قال لا ينال عهد الظالمين صدق الله العظيم. Ayat number 124 of Surat Al-Baqarah. The qissa and story of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam has been going on. It's quite a lengthy series. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tested Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam throughout his life. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was put through very, very difficult tests. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he proved himself worthy of the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also the fact that he was given quite a few titles after passing all of these tests. Some of those titles, he was given the title of Khalilur Rahman, the very, very close friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was given the title of Abul Anbiya, the father of the prophets, because all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam that came after him, and all of the Rusul, the messengers that came after him, they came in his progeny. They were from his children. Even his own children, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them Anbiya alayhimus salam and Rusul, messengers. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he was tested with his son Ismail alayhi salam, he was tested by being shown in a dream to slaughter his son, to sacrifice his son for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he passed this stage, also it was shown that his son Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam, he was not just a normal human being, but he was also proven to be a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even at a very young age. And because of this willingness to be ready to put one's life or give up one's life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam, he was given a title of Ghulamin Halim, or Ghulamun Halim, a very forbearing son. He had great forbearance, a very great patience, very great resolve. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions him with this title in the Quran. فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ حَلِيمٍ فَلَمَّا بَلَغَ مَعَهُ السَّعْيِ in Surah As-Saffat. After Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he passed the stage, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made an open announcement that this was one of the final and most difficult tests that a human being could be tested with, and he passed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even announced to Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, قَدْ صَدَّقْتَ الرُّؤْيَا إِنَّا كَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. You have definitely fulfilled the command that you were given in your dream. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was commanded to go back and live in Quds, in Palestine. And when he was living there, during this time, after many years, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent three malaika, three angels. Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam came with two more angels. And they came in the form of human beings. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had a very, very beautiful quality that he used to sit on the highway, on the main road, at night time or around the Asr time. And if there were any travelers that happened to be traveling, passing through that town, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he would entertain them for the night. He would take them, let them have a place to stay. That time they did not have hotels and motels and Airbnb and whatever else they have nowadays. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had this very beautiful quality that he used to sit on the highway, and any time travelers would come, he would take them to his house, he would give them dinner, let them spend the night so that they would be safe from any kind of harm in the darkness, at least passing through that area. And this is a very, very beautiful quality that the Anbiya alayhimus salam, all of them had. This quality of hospitality. They were very, very hospitable. And this is also a quality that is passed on to the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and also to the awliyaullah, to the friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You'll find in their life that they have this great level of hospitality. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has told us in a hadith, Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir فَلْيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفًا, or كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام, that whosoever believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and believes in His Messenger, believes in Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَلْيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفًا, then let him honor his guest, let him show great hospitality to his guest. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was sitting on the highway, on the path at that time, the travel route. And these three malaika, they came in the form of strangers, travelers, they were traveling. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he entertained them, he took them to his house. And he prepared a calf, he cooked it very nice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions this incident in Surah Hud and in Surah Dhariyat and in some other places in the Quran as well. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he brought his guest home, so he prepared bi'ijrin samin, he got together a very, very nice calf and he roasted it, made it very nice. He prepared dinner for them and they sat down, they started eating. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, it was a custom at that time that when you have guests, so the host was always supposed to take the first bite. And this was to show to the guest that whatever food I'm feeding you, this is not poisoned. They used to eat from one. Nowadays, mashallah, everybody has their own plate and their own utensils. It used to be sunnah to eat from one. Maybe don't try that here. People start going into the details of hygiene, and now we're too sophisticated for those sunnah. Ya subhanallah. The barakah was in that, eating together. Anyhow, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he took the first bite and he took a few morsels. And he realized that the malaika, they were not touching the food. He didn't know they were malaika. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentions this qissa, this story for us to make it clear to us that even the Anbiya alayhimus salam, the prophets and messengers, they did not have ilm ghaib, they did not have knowledge of the unseen. Because if Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had knowledge of the unseen, he would not have prepared so much food. Yes, they have that much ilm that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them through wahi. That is how much they have. They do not have ilm ghaib. It was a superstition at that time, or it was a known custom. At that time it was very, very customary, and it was known that if someone visited you and they did not partake of what you were offering them, so this person was an assassin, he was sent to kill you. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he realized that the Malaika, they were not reaching for the food, so he started getting scared. He said, oh, these are assassins. And this is another thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes very clear, that the Anbiya alayhim salam, the prophets and messengers, they were human beings. They also had human emotions. He kind of felt a little bit afraid that they're not reaching for the food, so these are assassins. Maybe they have come with ill intent. So Jibreel alayhi salam, he spoke up and he told Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam that don't be afraid. And we have not been sent here to be entertained like this, but we have come with a very, very particular mission. We have been sent to Qawm Lut, to that Qawm that Lut alayhi salam, he was sent to, known as Qawm Sadum, or the two cities, Sadum and Ghamurah. So Jibreel alayhi salam, he said it is very clear that we have not come for any other reason, but we are just passing through, and we have our actual route is towards Qawm Sadum. We are headed towards Qawm Sadum. But we were also told to give you one very unique message, and a very special message, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to give you another son, a second son. And that this son will be with his first wife Sarah radiallahu anha. At this time, Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was very old. He was close to 100 years old. Some narrations mention 99 years old. He was very old at this time. And his wife Sarah radiallahu anha, so she was sitting behind the hijab, so she started laughing. In two places in the Quran, it is mentioned that she laughed or kind of smiled at this fact, strange fact, that in such old age, we're going to have a son. In the other place in the Quran, she laughed after the Malaika mentioned Qawm Sadum. So she was kind of laughing that it took you so long to come and destroy that home. You guys finally came, you know. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it very clear to her that yes, you may consider this something strange, but this is a hukum from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, you'll be given this gift of a child even in an old age. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, his mind was still on the destruction of Qawm Sadum. So he told the Malaika, he started debating with them. Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he told them that in that nation, there is Lut alayhi salam and his family. The Malaika, they said, we know who's there. We know everyone that is there, and we're going to save Lut alayhi salam, we're going to save his family, illa mara'atahu, except his wife. Kanat min al-ghabirin, she has been, with the transgressors, she's going to be left behind. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he said, well, in that qawm, in that nation, maybe 100 people believe. The Malaika said, no, there's no 100 believers. He said, okay, maybe 90 believe. He said, no. The Malaika said, we know exactly how many people are there. So Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was counting down. He said, maybe there's 5 believers. They said, there's not even 5. He said, okay, maybe 1 person has believed in Lut alayhi salam. The Malaika said, not even 1 has believed. So we've given them this long time, from the time that you made hijrah from Iraq. Many long years we've given this qawm and this nation. Lut alayhi salam has been making effort, and not even 1 single person has believed in him. And rather now they're turning against him, they're mocking him, making fun of him. And the a'mal have become even worse. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the case of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, that he was kind of debating in the hope to delay the adhab, or in the hope that this qawm should not be punished. Because Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was also very kind at heart. Remember, the Anbiya alayhim salam, they never wished destruction for their qawm. They always wanted that their qawm be saved in whatever way that they could. But when the final decision came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then That was the final decision. Yes, if the Anbiya alayhimus salam, they came to this realization that now no one else is going to believe, so then they would make their final dua that enough was enough. So these malaika, they were sitting there, and Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was arguing and debating with them, trying to save even one person. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions that this quality of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam, this is also a commendable quality. It should be the quality of every single believer, that they should never wish destruction for someone. Regardless of how wicked that person may be, they should have in their heart some hope, some mercy that maybe this person will believe eventually. Yes, there are some people who, that wahi came to the Anbiya alayhimus salam, that now after this person will not believe, or this qawm will not believe. The case of Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, or the case of some of the kuffar of the Quraysh at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. It was made clear that these kuffar will never believe after this. So then it was permissible to make dua against them. But for us, believers, we don't know who still may be eligible for hidayah and guidance, so we should be very, very careful who we make dua against. So the malaika, they left. They came with this glad tiding, and they gave Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam this glad tiding, and the title was already given to this second son, Ghulamin Alim, very knowledgeable, intellectual son. Ghulamin or Ghulamun Alim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in Surah Dhariyat, فَبَشَّرْنَاهُ بِغُلَامٍ عَلِيمٍ. They gave him bashara of Ghulamin Alim, a very knowledgeable, very intellectual son. So this is the distinction between Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam and Sayyidina Ishaq alayhi salam. So the malaika, they left and they went on their route to Qawm Sadum, towards Lut alayhi salam and his qawm. And also again they came around the Asr Salah time. And Lut alayhi salam, he also used to have this quality that he learned from his uncle Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. So Lut alayhi salam, he was also sitting on the highway, on the main path, and used to wait for travelers. On the one side, understanding and realizing the importance of ikram to life, the importance of having hospitality to the guest, but also on the other side, realizing and understanding how wicked his qawm and his nation was. Lut alayhi salam, he was sent to Qawm Sadum. This qawm, this city, or this town, this qawm, this nation, it consisted of two major cities. The city of Sadum and the city of Ghamurah. These two major cities, they were people who were so wicked that they had gone beyond the limits and beyond the boundaries of shahawat, of desires. They had gotten into the very wicked and evil act that has now become prevalent in the world today also. This act of being gay, or qawmilut, this homosexuality that is going on. That was also very prevalent in that nation. There are a few points that need to be pointed out about these kind of people. First and foremost, this is a disease. It is amongst the amrad, amongst the diseases of the nafs, that when a person does not control their shahwa, when the desire is not controlled, then a point comes where this desire overwhelms the person so much, these shahawat, these desires overwhelm a person so much, that the person never finds satisfaction in what is natural. The natural system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in this universal domain. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system so that humanity may continue their existence. We human beings, we're not immortal beings. We don't live forever. No matter how hard we try, we'll never be able to live forever. Remember this very, very clearly. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he was not given immortal life in this world. So what makes you think we'll be given immortal life in this world? And this is made very clear to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And it's the question even asked in the ayat of the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addresses Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that we have not given you, or we have not made you immortal. So, فَإِن مِتَّ فَهُمُ الْخَالِدُونَ. If you have to die, what makes you think they're going to live forever? So this system that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created in this world is that we human beings and all of creation has to die. And if we have to die, so how will the rest of creation continue on? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a system in this universe of creating everything in pairs. سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون. In Surah Yasin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that glory be to that being, Allah, who has created everything in pairs, from the produce of this earth and also from amongst you, and also from among the things you don't even realize or you don't even know. So this system of male and female, this is not just in the human beings. You find it in the animal kingdom. You find it in the plant kingdom. You find it in the fruits and the vegetables and the vegetations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system everywhere. You find it in things we can see. You find it in things we cannot see. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system. And the hikmah, or the reason for creating this system, is so that that creation may be able to continue its existence. The male from that creation will depend on the female, and the female from that creation will depend on the male. And this system has been there from the very beginning and will continue till the end of time. Amongst all of the creatures, amongst us human beings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system and has given the Anbiya alayhimus salam a system that is far beyond and better and above the system of the animals. They were given, the Anbiya alayhimus salam, they were given the sunnah of nikah. There are a few sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. There were the sunnah of all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. Yeah, there may be one or two, some Anbiya there were not, but majority of all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. There was a system of nikah. Even Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, the first human being, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a spouse for him. There was a system of miswak. This was also sunnah of all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. The sunnah of taking care of personal hygiene. And so on. Many, many other sunnah that were kind of common amongst all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. Such as the sunnah of the beard and trimming of the mustache. This was a sunnah of all of the Anbiya alayhimus salam. But coming to the system of nikah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created this system so that neither gender may be taken advantage of. The system Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created. And there's also very, very great hikmah in the sense that everyone knows their genealogy, who their father is and who this father was. This is also a sense of purity, a kind of sense given to know who person's genealogy. There may be, now in the modern day world, we understand the importance of having the system or understanding the system. There are many diseases that are genetic. They're able to track somebody's father or grandfather had a particular illness, or they're able to find out and maybe even find a cure for it, and so on and so forth. But also it was a system of honor, giving a human being honor, that they belong to something greater than themselves. Unfortunately, we live in a very strange society where everyone is very lonely. Everyone is alone. Everyone is single. They have become so used to being alone. And that loneliness has a very tremendous impact on the psychology of a human being. That is why make connections, make friends, have a life. Come out of all of this technology, come out of all of this sophisticated system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for the very first human being, Adam alayhi salam, his spouse. Because there are many, many things that we human beings we share that you cannot share with a cell phone or a laptop or a computer. You cannot share with your online friends or your gaming friends, for those who are into gaming and those who are into all those platforms. Those aren't friends. In fact, you'll never have that kind of deep connection with them as you'll have with a human being. So the society has become very strange. We live in a very, very strange society. And this happens when people's psychology is distorted. Inshallah, we'll go much more in detail regarding this, the Qawm of Lut alayhi salam. Many of these details in the coming bayanat. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us understanding and give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.